Okay.
104.9 Sunshine FM. Tracy and the Big D with you right through till 10 o'clock. Guys, we've left the best to last. Got to tell you, the teddy bear of the industry at the moment, and I'm talking about the big hairy man himself, Paul Grierson from...
Simply Bushed. How are you, Paul?
What an intro. Thanks very much,
Mate.
guys. I'm not sure. I don't get referred to as a teddy bear very often, I have to say.
Oh, come on. You're a big cuddly teddy bear. I'll tell you what, between yourself and Luke O'Shea, you're on about a par with the hugging category, let me tell you.
He is a big hugger. He is a big hugger, mate.
Paul, congratulations on the album. Tracy had it on the Facebook, on the website the other day, saying that she's sitting down listening to it, and you had her crying.
Seriously.
Is that right, Trace?
No, seriously, you know what? It was Dusty Floors. And I can tell you why. Because it just, you sit back and you listen to it. I think you get to an age in your life where you'll start losing friends and losing people and you sort of start hearing the stories and the memories. And that song just went bam. And I've gone, oh, my God. I'm driving, crying.
Yeah, and crying.
Well, before then, I'm laughing because I'm laughing at the mum's wobbly bum.
Mum's bum wobbles, It goes from one extreme to another, doesn't it, really?
I tell you, it's a track. The whole album takes you through every emotion. And, like I've got, the slouch hat song. I tell you what, it's a fantastic album and I love it. And thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Trace. Look, we're really stoked with it. We recorded it up your way up at Rob McKay's studio in Harvey Bay, and he just put so much effort in. And we try to put a lot of effort into the songs as well. We had a heap of other songs written, but we just didn't, that didn't quite make it. And we really wanted to try and do a nice album, Trace, and I really appreciate those comments, mate.
But seriously, it's an album where you can sit back and you can reminisce and you can think and you can do all that sort of stuff. And then the very next song, you want to get up and you want to dance because you want to join that party. And how did the mix come up? Is it something that you sort of said about trying to pull all these emotions out of the album, or is it just it all just fell? How did it work together?
Well, it really, we just kept writing songs, Trace, and at the end of the day, mate, we would go through them and just we had to be a bit brutal with them because there's a couple of songs that we had written that we really liked and we just went, you know what, it's not quite there. And so I don't think we purposely went to, try and create that variation of that emotional response. So that wasn't on purpose, but the songs in each of themselves were thought about carefully in terms of when we were writing them, Dusty Floors you spoke about, and Chris and I we spent a fair bit of time on that song. Like he come with the melody, and then, the turnaround at the end where the old fella passes away and goes to join his beautiful wife.
Oh, God, I got goosebumps.
Well, see, that was an idea that we talked about, and we thought, sort of, how are we going to make this song finish its own story, Trace, if that makes sense.
It does, and it does. But it finishes everybody else's story. So when anyone who listens to that song, they'll have their own ending.
Absolutely. And do you know what happened? It's interesting that you picked that song because just this week, last Friday, the Friday before our launch, Trace, and there's a beautiful old... he started off as a fan of Simply Bush, but he became a great mate of ours. And he would come to all our gigs, and he came to I had a little solo gig on Friday night, and he came to my gig on the Friday night, and he passed away on the Saturday.
No.
And he was a builder, and so Chris and I sang that song at his funeral the day before our album launch.
Oh, my gosh.
So that is an exact example of what you're talking about, Trace, and his beautiful wife, Jeanette, asked us to sing it for him, and she chose the song.
And see, she's looking at those floors now.
Absolutely, mate, absolutely.
Beautiful.
So that's each song had its own story, Making Hay, which is the first single, Daz. That's me and my girl have been together 30 years this year, mate. And so, that song sort of emerged as well. It didn't end up what it started off to be. And, I had the idea of just, I always say to Melissa, well, I've got to make hay while the sun shines when other work comes up to make a quid, And so that's how the song started. But it ended up being a bit of a story about Melissa and I and our 30 years together, So it's interesting where the song goes. You don't know where it's going to go, Trace. It's great fun.
And that's exactly it. Every single song on this album has it. And don't sit there in front of that nice warm fire and tell me that Mum's Bum Wobbles started out as a love song.
No, it's hilarious. Well, Reezy started that one as well. And he's got a beautiful little son, mate. His son's 9 now. Mm-hmm. And he's a little redhead man, mate, and he's becoming quite the young man, actually. And he's a little champion. He's a great mate, and he's a mad guitarist, and he plays drums, and he's a great little muso. And but he was sitting there talking to Chris one day, and he actually said the words, and I'm not even joking. He was about 7.5 at the time, but he said, "Hey, Dad," and sort of looking sideways, he said, "Mum's bum wobbles when she puts the garbage out, you know." And that was it. And Chris came to me, and he just, after he got up off the floor laughing, he said, "Well, you can never say that again," is the first point. And it's an honest song, mate. It's a lot of fun.
Well, there is no doubt about Simply Bushed. When they put some music together, it's all from the heart. It's all true. It's all patriotic. Do yourselves a favour, people. If you do not have a copy of it, when you get along and see Simply Bushed at Gympie this weekend, get to one of the signings. Make sure you meet up with the boys and grab yourself a copy. It's been a while since I've seen Tracy brought to tears emotionally.
Seriously, it was a cracker.
And you know the great thing about it, Paul, is that she could take you to a hall somewhere and describe it to you.
Yeah, I can.
She's visualised this whole thing,
yep.
which is the mark of your guys' ability to put that song together.
It reminds me of Grandma's old house.
Yep.
That's what it reminds me of. Every time I used to go there, and she had the timber floors, and you go, oh, those stories that they could tell, you know, it just reminded me of Christmas time and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that is the more soppy part of it. But we're going to get our country rock on this weekend. We're going to be bouncing around dancing because Friday night we're going to be in the Crowbar at 7 o'clock and kicking all that off. And then on main stage, mate, what a gig. The crowd is going to go berserk. 4:30, Saturday Arvo, mate, we're there.
Oh, I can't wait, Trace. It's our first crack at main stage at Gympie Muster, mate, and so we're really appreciative to Jeff and all the staff there for giving us a crack at that. And, look, we've worked hard enough to earn it. So I'm not saying that we haven't put in the miles, mate, but we're really looking forward to it, and we just want to put on a great show. And, we really appreciate your support, and Daz, you and Daz have been great for us, and I really appreciate it. You've been looking after us for a long time, Trace.
Well, mate, you know what? I'm going to catch up with you either on Friday or Saturday, or probably both, and I'll be chasing one of those bear hugs.
Thanks very much, Trace. Can I mention one more thing, little mate?
You better. You go for it.
All right. Well, I just wanted to let all your listeners know that we're going to be shooting some footage that's going to be in the film clip for Saturday night. And so, if they're down at the muster, come on down and get on film, and we're going to have a great night. But we'd love to have as many people there in the film clip.
Awesome. There we go. Something to look out for.
All right, thanks very much, Trace. Thanks, Daz. See you later, guys.
Good on you. Thanks, Paul. Give our best to Chris, and we'll see you guys on the weekend.
No worries. Keep it bushy, guys.